I'll tell you what, if you asked me to do the job that I'm doing now when I was 17, I would have done a lot worse of a job than Trevor Best.
That's right. It's that time of week. Your Wednesday night therapy session here on the PHNX Sun Devils show. I'm Anthony Totri, joined as always by Senor Rubis, a fellow therapist here.
License.
And of course, we have Captain Redbeard behind the Mac making all of the magic happen. Guys, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts. Of course, we're coming live from Studio K, presented by Circle K. Join Inner Circle for free by downloading that Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for details. Arizona State unable to get the job done tonight, falling short to number 25 BYU, 91-81. It was a very, very shorthanded squad for Arizona State tonight. But, Erik, they did their best.
You know what they did? And so did you.
Thanks,
with that intro.
I tried.
Let's do an over-under for the amount of times that we say the word best today.
Ooh, 12.5.
Wow, I'm smacking the over.
Smacking the over on 12.5?
That's the best bet I've ever heard. Can't best that. I'm also going to smack the over because I can control it. The only good part about losing is this music, dude. Like,
music is so good.
Like, it's so good that it puts me in a good mood, and I feel like that's not a good thing, like, at all. But today I think it is. So let's just get the negative out of the way, and let's just flush it. Okay, 8th straight home loss, tied for the most since 2006, 2007. Right.
Ouch.
You're multiple games under 500. You're plummeting down to the bottom of the Big 12. And
everyone's hurt.
That sucks. It really sucks. Okay. Let's not bring up any of that again.
Okay.
Because I am actually walking away from this game in like maybe the best mood I've walked away from.
You almost feel like a proud father.
Like, I am very proud.
Yeah.
I'm very proud. I mean, obviously I'm proud of Trevor Best, who played incredibly in his first meaningful minutes
he gave it his best.
College basketball. He really did give it his best. First of all, some people just have the names.
They do. Trevor Best is a great name.
Fantastic name. Like, it's got the punch to it, right? But he played really, really well. And Arizona State as like a team, I would say that this was maybe their best effort we've seen all season. And it's because they had to.
Yeah. Yeah. I think overall, obviously this game is so unique compared to the rest of the season. I think, in all honesty, despite what some people may think, despite the results on the court, this team has been giving a lot of effort and energy every single night. I think this one felt a little different because it was already such a limited roster.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you were without a Jayden Quaintance. You were without an Alston Mason. This is your second game without BJ Freeman. Brandon Gardner's still not playing. And Austin Nunez is still out for the season. And then you get, some limited minutes from Adam Miller tonight before he gets hurt. There's minutes where Trevor Best goes down. Like, anything that can go wrong for you has gone wrong for you this season. And to pull up at home midweek against a team that is like 10, 11 deep in the rotation.
BYU's a really good team.
That is maybe as hot as anybody in the Big 12 right now from 3, right? And then to go out there and have that energy, that effort, and I feel like put on a performance that, if you had maybe an extra guy or two out there, we're talking about a game that you could win.
Yeah, I think if Adam Miller had the ability to play the whole game, you would be in a lot better of a position.
Yeah.
I mean, you lost by 10, but you went on a 7-0 run at the end of it. BYU never really felt like they were losing control of the game, but Arizona State always felt like they were fighting to stay in it.
Yeah.
And they were. It never turned into as ugly as you thought that it could when they had so little players. I mean, Adam Miller only played 13 minutes tonight.
That's wild.
Right.
It felt like he played a lot more than that.
Yeah, I mean, he had impactful minutes. He was 4 or 5 from the field and 3 of 4 from deep. He's shooting an incredible percentage from deep this season. Also had an assist as well. But the thing with this team in general is that when they've been blown out before, sometimes they've just kind of felt a little flat or it's felt a little hopeless. And I never felt that tonight. And if there's any team that could have turned that game into something that was hopeless, it was BYU, who did that exact thing in your first ever Big 12 game on New Year's Eve. And this is a BYU team who's playing better basketball than when you played them then. So I'm really proud of how they played tonight, and we can go like basically player by player and break it all down because only a couple of them played. But the overall outlook of the program is not in the best place right now. But tonight, that's just not the main focus, and I think that they deserve the focus to not be on that tonight.
I agree, and I want to get into everything we saw from the game. Like you said, we have the opportunity tonight to get into every single player, something that we've never done before on the PHNX Sun Devil show, but because it was such a limited rotation and it's a depleted roster, we have that ability. Before we do any of that, I just want to say this team is wildly unlucky. Arizona State basketball fans are wildly unlucky to be going through this season. This is your, a season with maybe the most intriguing expectations that you've had in a long time, going into a new conference, getting a bunch of new players, some high-level freshmen, some interesting transfers. You return a guy in Adam Miller that showed flashes. Sean Phillips, what he brings from just a physicality standpoint. And then to go out there and have these injuries, to go out there and have some of these just games where it's like, man, you find unlucky ways to lose, or there's a bad bounce here or there. And then you get, the BJ Freeman situation and the Bobby rumors and the handshake stuff. Like, this season has been so full of just unlucky. Like, there
lots of bad headlines for reasons in and out of their control.
And that's the thing.
Not bad headlines is like slanders, but like Jayden Quaintance leaving the arena in crutches. Adam Miller goes down in the game. Arizona State loses 8 straight at home. They are very unlucky. As a whole, the team is not really who you thought that they would be going into the season.
Yeah.
And a lot of that is out of their control. Some of it in it, but you got to just keep playing and moving on. And it felt like they really kept that mindset tonight. I'll beat up on the team when needed, and it's been needed a lot this year. Today is not one of those games. Do you want to start going player by player?
Yeah, where do you want to start?
I mean, I feel like we don't normally start with bottle service, but it feels like if we're going to on any night, it should be tonight.
Okay.
How do you feel about that? I know that you like your rundown.
I do like my rundown.
So I don't want to step on that.
Before we get into every single individual player,
okay,
let's go ahead and take a look at the team as a whole real quick.
I should have respected the.
You got to respect the rundown.
I got to respect the rundown.
You got to respect the rundown.
That's on me.
I do want to get to By the Numbers, presented by Desert Financial Credit Union, Arizona's #1 credit union, named by Forbes. Of course, Erik, the only number that matters is that final score.
I love how Bob Hurley Jr. makes the graphic.
BYU.
I love that.
Outlasting Arizona State 91-81. The leading scorers on each side: Bashir Jihad with 19 for Hurley squad, and then of course Richie Saunders with 26 big ones for the Cougs. Both teams shooting above average tonight: 47% for Arizona State, 55% for BYU, and then from 3-point land, just 35% for the 6 Arizona State Sun Devils that were out there tonight, and a whopping 17 of 34. 50%.
So good.
As good odds as flipping a coin for BYU from 3 tonight. And a big one, assists in favor of the Cougs, 21-12. What stands out to you, Erik?
Okay, it's definitely the 3-point number, because BYU in general, when their players take jump shots, it looks robotic in like the most complimentary way possible.
Yeah.
Like they shoot and you're just like, were you made in NBA 2K? Were you made in a lab? Like everything looks like a green release. And I hate to play against it, but as a fan of basketball, it's so aesthetically pleasing to watch. Like it's
just raining threes.
Yeah, I know I was just shooting like Sean Marion there, but just the way that they move the ball and that they shoot the three, like they're a very well run offense. And as a Phoenix Suns fan and show host, watching Kevin Young succeed is something that makes me think a little bit more about last year and what exactly his workload was, because this BYU offense is a modern spread offense and operates really beautifully.
They do.
And they're a really deep team, and they're a really well coached team, and they're an athletic team. And they play hard on defense, and they have big men. Like, this is not a team that ASU fully healthy, I feel like, goes into and thinks like, I can compete like this, right? Like, this is a good team.
It is a really good team.
This is a good team.
There's a reason they're number 25 in the country.
I think they end up a top 20 team.
They should. They're on a win streak right now. Obviously, they beat ASU tonight by 10. They are coming off a big 1-point win on the road at Arizona. Before that, they absolutely beat the brakes off of a ranked Kansas team. They beat Kansas State by 15, beat West Virginia by 4. The reason they've kind of been out of the rankings is because separating that 5-game win streak from another 4-game win streak is 2 back-to-back losses, 1 to Arizona and 1 to Cincinnati. Otherwise, we're talking about a team that is on like an 11-game win streak.
In the Big 12.
In the Big 12. Beating just about everybody.
Yeah, they're very good.
They are a very, very scary team, and Arizona State saw all of it tonight. Like we teased, we're going to get into every single Arizona State Sun Devil and what we saw from them, but we are going to take a quick break.
It's getting hot.
It is getting hot.
It's getting hot.
First 90-degree day today.
Yeah, it was really hot today. Went on a hike early this morning, and I'm glad it was early because it got really hot. And I was wearing like a long sleeve later in the day. I was like, whew. And if you own a home, but you still want to go outside as it gets ridiculously hot, ridiculously too fast, check out our friends over at All Pro Shades Concepts, because they can extend your outdoor living space with custom fit awnings with hundreds of designs and colors to choose from to match any home. And they can work with that pesky HOA for approvals. They're motorized and retract with a remote control, all with LED lighting to light up your patio under the awning. Roll down patio shades block the sun and keep the patio up to 20 degrees cooler with hundreds of colors and durable fabric to withstand the AZ sun. You can choose motorized or manual, and they are the most trusted local shade company. Better Business Bureau, A+ rating, over 1,000 5-star reviews. Call 623-204-1476 or visit allproshadeconcepts.com now to schedule your free estimate.
I love it. I also love our friends over at Sanderson Ford. Guys, pay attention, because right now, in celebration of Arizona being the 48th state of the union and Ford trucks being number 1 in sales for 48 straight years. Can you believe that? 48 years in a row. Sanderson Ford is celebrating President's Day with a presidential sale on 848 new vehicles, many with savings of $4,800 or more. Can you imagine heading to a dealership and them telling you, look, we've got options of 848 different cars and, $4,800 savings in your interest? Like, why wouldn't you go get a car right now?
I mean, I might just drive there and wait for them to open up.
I mean, let's do it. You and me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Together?
Yeah. Well, let's get a car.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Over at
That's
Sanderson
the next step of our relationship.
Yeah, absolutely. Shop with no hassle, no pressure, and no nonsense. And see why Sanderson Ford is America's most awarded Ford dealership for complete customer satisfaction. Don't miss the Sanderson Ford presidential sale. Offers on 2024 models and include Ford rebates, Sanderson discounts, and Conquest cash and Flex Buy discounts. You must qualify for. See dealer for details. All offers expire March 3rd, 2025.
I love it when the ads get funny.
Do you?
Yeah, I love it because it's just like, yes, let's laugh about something going on.
The next step of our
like, okay, because now that's like sparked a whole train of thought, because we're going to get a therapist for our 24-hour live stream that we're going to announce the date soon. I'll give you a hint.
A very fun date.
It's next month.
It is next month.
So it's soon.
And we'll be live for 24 hours.
Straight. Some of us are ducking for a couple hours
I need to just
do other things.
Now I need to take my break from you if I'm going to be with you for 24 hours.
Okay, so he just got up and left. But what I'm saying is, what if like we go to therapy and at the end of it, we're like, you know what? We need to make a big purchase together.
At the end of therapy?
Let's go halvesies on.
Oh, we're going halvesies
on a car.
Why do we have to go halvesies?
Well, because this is how we improve our relationship. Is we take care of this car together.
But what if we get a divorce?
Well,
then it's going to make
really
it a little
tricky.
bit more of a challenge to figure out who gets the car. You know.
Well,
I think you should go all in. You should go all in.
Me.
Yeah.
See, this is the problem. You always want it to be on me, okay?
If it doesn't work, then you can keep it.
Oh, okay.
You know?
You want to put all the responsibility on me. Oh, okay.
Which player do you want to go into first? You want to start with bottle service?
Dude, we got to start with bottle service.
Let's start with the man who definitely can't pop bottles because he's not old enough.
No.
Trevor Best.
This is a sparkling apple cider service.
There you go. I mean, 18 points, his first career points coming tonight against BYU, 5 of 8 from the floor. He had 2 steals as well. I mean, somebody said it earlier in the chat. Where have the Trevor Best minutes been all year?
That's actually a pretty popular sentiment in this chat. Is where have the Trevor Best minutes been? Now, okay, let me take a second and defend Bobby Hurley.
Okay,
not something that y'all were expecting me to say. I'm so happy to see Trevor Best do well in these minutes.
Yeah.
And there's always been potential there. At the same time, he is a 17-year-old who joined this team in January and is playing in the best basketball conference in the country at the collegiate level.
In what should be meaningful games.
In games, I mean, you still are fighting for your seeding in the Big 12 tournament, right? Trying to match up for the play-in against another lower-level team. I mean, you still want to be up on the top of that, right?
Yeah.
Even if you don't think you're going deep this season. I don't blame Bobby for being hesitant to throw him in there. And tonight, I'm glad that he earned the right to say next time, let's give him a little bit more leash.
Yeah.
Because the same reason I don't blame Bobby for not doing it earlier, now he doesn't have a choice. In my opinion, he needs to get relatively consistent minutes on a lower level.
I agree.
I think
he's earned that after
I don't need him to be bottle service another game this year.
No. I don't think you'd expect it.
But I would love to see him get some time to develop if you are going to try to retain him and Quaintance, who are high school teammates next year.
I would absolutely love to see Trevor Best get more minutes. I think it'd be the best thing for this rotation, like you said. Going forward, you got 3 games left. You saw what Arizona did to Utah tonight. And then after that, you've got a couple tough games against the Wildcats and then Texas Tech. So I think any minutes that you can get on a already depleted roster, hopefully Alston Mason and Jayden Quaintance are ready to play on Saturday.
Fingers crossed.
Alston Mason missing tonight's game because of an illness, and then Jayden Quaintance because of the, injury that he suffered this past weekend. So you hope that they're ready to go, and even if they are, then I think you still expect Trevor Best to play 15, maybe 20 minutes a game.
Yeah, I mean, the rotation is tight.
You don't know what Adam
Miller is, but I mean, Adam Miller's again, he's been playing actually really well, and shooting a really good percentage from deep. I'm not in love with his shot selection at all times, but
at any times.
Yeah, but at the same time, he's been playing well this year. I want Trevor Best to get minutes when appropriate, and I want him, if he continues to play well in those minutes, to get more. 24 minutes tonight is a lot, but 18 points, like you mentioned, 2 assists, 2 steals.
This is why you added him to the roster.
I mean, you do need you need depth. I want him to take away.
That's why you added him.
Get him if you can get him 8 to, if he's playing really good, 12 minutes a game. Okay, and give Alston Mason 4 minutes off. Give Adam Miller 4 minutes off, and give Joson Sanon, a little bit of time if he's not shooting that great too. He should be in the rotation.
12 to 15 minutes.
Yeah, he should be in the rotation. Getting to the line is a really important skill. We see Bashir Jihad has that pretty consistently. But at the same time,
Best went 6 for 6.
Yeah, he went 6 for 6, which actually brings up maybe the funniest thing that I saw tonight.
Oh, God.
I just want to say I understand how hard it is to run a social media account. I get it. Especially if a team isn't doing that great or you're down, there's not a lot of highlights. So this is not me.
Going on with Phoenix Suns?
This is not me. This is not me dunking on anybody.
It kind of is. Kind of is.
I just think surface level, it's really funny that this happened. The official Arizona State Sun Devil Hoops account, Sun Devils Men Basketball, just tweeted that Trevor Best is 4 for 4 from the free throw line, and it tweeted a free throw as a highlight. And I just thought that was funny. I think I've ever seen that before at all.
Sometimes, sometimes it's not going great.
No,
you
but
know?
here's the thing.
You gotta smile in the darkness.
But you had to wait a little bit because he hit that 3 a couple minutes later, right?
Yeah, but sometimes you got to know. You got to sometimes crank out some stuff. Content, man.
Okay, chill. But like,
Okay,
and that's what I'm saying. I totally get it. Like, trust me, I have tweeted way worse things that have just completely flopped. Like, this is not me saying.
At least
that
there
I'm
were no
better
spell check errors.
No, oh my god, the worst, dude. I have like PTSD. Like, I read all my tweets like a million times over
you
now.
still spell stuff wrong. Yeah, it's crazy.
Not as much though.
Not as much. You've done better.
There was like a 2-week stretch where it was like every other tweet.
It was not very good.
It was really bad.
Yeah, no. It's all right though. Trevor Best, like you said, gave his best. You give your best, but you send your tweets. Trevor Best, hopefully you see him more in the rotation. I'm curious did he remind you of anybody? Any other Arizona State basketball players getting to watch him play for a little bit?
I don't know why, because he wasn't as, I guess, jump shot oriented because he did drive to the paint more, but Trey Holder. Okay,
interesting.
I mean, Trey Holder was really good.
He was really good.
And so I don't think it's fair to say that at all, but smaller guard who is fast, shifty, can get to the paint, shoot some free throws, but also shoots the threes too. It's a tough mantle to be on, but I'm really excited to see what he could do with the summer of work, focusing solely on basketball.
Yeah.
Because he's already made the transition to college. He's already moved, in Tempe. He's already started taking classes, that once he's now 18 years old, has a chance to work more focused level in college. He is a little bit smaller, but he is 6'2", so definitely playable, bigger than Alston Mason. Alston Mason's not 6'2".
He looks smaller. Trevor Best looks smaller than Alston Mason.
I don't know, because
he's listed at 6'2".
I thought I saw that he was listed at 6'2".
There's no way Trevor Best is 6'2". He looks like he's 5'11".
Yeah, 6'2".
What?
So they say in the ASU thing. Let's see what they have Alston Mason as.
Is it 6'4", maybe?
Alston Mason is not 6'2". Okay, those two are not 6'2".
Those two are not the same height. They're definitely not the same height.
Okay, but I do think that there is a trajectory for Best, and I want to see him get minutes now so that going into next season, if you can retain him, I don't know if he's going to, have an argument for starter, but he might be like a super 6.
Yeah, Austin Nunez type minutes. Yeah,
sure.
No, I'm 100% cool with that. Stu Joe with the super chat. We appreciate the super chat saying, no offense, but ASU hoops in a free fall. You don't agree? I would say we do agree, but
is it a free fall if you've been slowly walking down the stairs for a really long time?
I don't know if they've been walking down the stairs.
Okay, but they tripped a couple times.
They were pushed by the Oklahoma State mascot down the stairs, and since then they've been tumbling for a while. This is like this game was like you were on the last step, like you stopped on the last step, and then you just now fell.
Yeah.
Like there is no more falling after this.
Yeah, I the free falling has.
Not to say that this is. I mean, I guess this is rock bottom.
I don't know if this is rock. This isn't rock bottom.
I think it is rock bottom.
No,
wait.
Not
it's a therapy session.
Not
let's.
This game was not rock bottom.
They had 5 players.
There have been like 5 other post game shows this year that I have felt about 10 or 15 times worse about.
No, but rock
situation.
bottom isn't about worse. I don't think.
Rock bottom's definition is literally when it cannot get any worse. And I can think of multiple times where I felt worse. Yeah, and I really enjoyed Trevor Best. I think that also his
at the lowest possible level.
Yeah. Did you not know what rock bottom?
No, I did. I was just fact checking you. I was just
fact
checking you, man. I was fact checking you.
Okay, you know what? We've talked about Trevor Best. I want to see more about Trevor Best. Let's go player by player. Let's keep it rolling because I know we don't have a lot to talk about, but
you want to go with what we saw of Adam Miller tonight?
Yeah, we could go with Adam Miller.
13 minutes from Adam Miller, 11 points, 1 assist, 2 turnovers, 1 steal. Again, kind of dealt with injury in the first half, missed some significant time, came back in the second half, got injured a couple more times. 4 of 5 shooting from the floor, 3 of 4 from 3. Like he was very efficient.
He's been very efficient.
Like you said earlier, you would have loved to have Adam Miller out there for the full 2 halves of this game. You don't know realistically if he could have made up that 10-point difference, but you'd like to think so. A guy shooting, 4 of 5 from the field, shooting that efficiently.
I mean, yeah, it's not like he was having a bad game and you needed him to get on fire. Even if he added a couple more threes, it might have gotten to the point where Arizona State didn't need as big of a comeback to push this. Plus the fact that you would be able to free things up for everybody else too, for the players like Bashir Jihad, who played 40 minutes, or Joson Sanon, who played 40 minutes tonight. If you had Adam Miller out there, they could have been a little bit more fresh. And either from Bashir not having to handle the ball as much and shoot as much because Adam's out there, or from Sanon getting some time to actually sit on the bench and rest. So you do think that the game would at least been closer, and I'm not saying they would have won if Adam Miller played, 30 minutes tonight, but they certainly would have had a better chance.
Yeah.
I think you hope that he's okay going forward, because he took some pretty hard falls and hits.
I think, again, moving forward, like, you have to answer 3 questions now, obviously, going into Saturday's game against Utah. Again, a team in Utah that just fired their head coach, a team that just got beat up and down the court by Arizona. You need your starting point guard in Alston Mason to be healthy. You,
big time,
as a fan base, want to see Jayden Quaintance again, right? And you honestly, like, I want to see him against the team that he should be better than, a team that he should be able to dominate.
Yeah,
get some momentum going into the end of the season, going into that Big 12 tournament. And then now Adam Miller, right? Now you have that question of the guy that came back, a senior leader on this team. At this point, this team's senior leadership in Alston Mason, BJ Freeman, like, they might not be out there, right? We know BJ's not going to be out there.
Oh, for
sure. So you could certainly use a guy of Adam Miller's
tenure.
Yeah, his tenure, and just like the way that he carries himself on the court. Like, he is a very confident guy. I know sometimes that doesn't necessarily translate well into shot selection or whatever. But he's got some swag to him. And I think this Arizona State team, you saw that tonight. You saw a little bit of like chip on their shoulder and swag with, from some guys that maybe you weren't expecting, like a Trevor Best, a Bashir Jihad, a Bobby Hurley when he was in there, right? What everybody thought should have been a charge, that wasn't. Like, you got some energy and some swag from those guys, and Adam Miller brings it the most, I think, of anybody on this roster, so you could certainly use him moving forward. But overall, I think Adam Miller gave you everything that he could in 13 minutes.
Yeah, I don't really have that much left to say on Adam Miller. Wish he played more. Somebody who played the most, Bashir Jihad. Not the most efficient. Actually not played. 7 of 15 is not bad. A little bit under 50% is pretty good, but pretty bad from 3. 1 for 6.
Yeah, 1 for 6.
Scored 19 points, added 4 rebounds. Also added 2 assists in there. Didn't commit a single foul.
Got a steal
in 40 minutes. Only 1 turnover. Not a bad night. The broadcast really loved it when he drove to the paint.
They did.
And I don't blame him. I don't blame him, because he's a big dude, and he had some pretty tough finishes through contact that took a lot of strength and body control. Again, you look at a player that you wish was in a better position to maybe have less usage and some more open threes and some more open shots. But I think I'm going to say this for almost every single player tonight, is they really did give it their best, and I didn't have any moments where I was like really mad about anything that they were doing.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. I think Bashir tonight, when you were rolling out guys that are so much younger, like an Amir Ali, Joson Sanon, a Trevor Best, like, you need somebody to step up that's been there and that's played a lot of college hoops. And obviously we talked about Adam Miller and, what he brings as a veteran, but he was on the sideline, right? Or he was on the bench for a good chunk of the game.
Or he was in the back.
Or he was in the locker room.
Yeah.
So to have Bashir out there lead that offense, to be able to create his own shot, which sometimes it feels like he's still trying to figure out how to do. But for him to, I think, still have the confidence to take those threes, to still have, the basketball IQ to know, hey, we need a bucket right now. Let's drive it in and let's expose maybe that BYU defense a little bit. You'll take 7 of 15. Again, you're not going to really beat up on any of these guys too much, considering there was 6 of them the entire night. Like, it is what it is at that point. And I think Bashir gave you everything he could. Maybe you'd like a little bit more defensively from him, but I think that's realistically like a lot to ask when you're getting a guy, one of 2 players, playing 40 minutes tonight. Like, sometimes you're just not going to get all that. But again, we've talked about Bashir. We've talked about Trevor.
Do you want to go to the other person who played 40 minutes tonight?
I do want to go to the other person that's played 40 minutes, but I do want to take a quick break before that.
That was a good one.
That's what I do. That's what I do.
You're pure with your transitions. Just like Pure Edibles. Founded in Arizona and available in 130 dispensaries statewide, Pure Gummies are not covered in sugar like all their competitors. They're a full-fledged candy company, which means it just tastes good. My personal favorites, watermelon gummies. They taste just like the watermelon Jolly Ranchers, and then their Kicks, which is their Starburst, and they only do the good flavors of Starburst too, by the way, and they only got the good stuff, like unique cannabinoids such as CBN, CBG, CBD, and marijuana-derived THC, with tins that are clearly labeled as to what the effect is going to be on your body. Do you want to unwind? Do you want to uplift? Do you want to sleep? Do you want to balance? Which I always found that one interesting.
Love some balance.
Because I don't have a lot of that. So I found it with Pure
uncoordinated
Edibles. Very. Pure was created in Flagstaff and Noble Herb Dispensary, but it is now made in Phoenix, Arizona, and they're designed to be ripped or bit in half, making them easily shareable and easy to dial in your exact dose. Get yourself some Pure Edibles products from one of the over 130 dispensaries in Arizona.
You know what one of the best parts about being alive in 2025 is?
What?
You get to experience Waymo. What do you know about Waymo?
I know a lot about Waymo.
Yeah, well, let me tell you.
Don't you ever question
Let me tell you Waymo. Okay, let me tell you about Waymo. Look, Waymo's autonomous ride-hailing service consists entirely of all-electric Jaguar I-Pace vehicles, providing a consistent zero-emission experience for their riders. 150,000 trips per week across San Francisco, Los Angeles, and Phoenix. Can you imagine if they got a few more cities, what the number of rides that Waymo would be doing?
I can't count that.
It's incredible, guys. Waymo was the first company to serve a fully autonomous ride with no human behind the wheel in 2015. And get this, Waymo has over 40 million miles of real-world driving experience. That's enough to drive to the moon and back 80 times, not to mention Arizona State head coach Kenny Dillingham. Big fan of Waymo.
Facts.
Download the Waymo One app and ride today.
You see, you think you know a lot about Waymo? Just remember, when it comes to Waymo, I'm the one. The Waymo One app, yeah. That was really max of me.
That was
really max of me.
That was not ideal for me.
We have another super chat from Stut Joe. Thank you.
Stut or Stut?
I'm gonna go with Stut.
Stut Joe?
Yeah. Stut Joe it doesn't have this. It doesn't have the same gravitas.
Doesn't have the same juice to it.
The same oomph.
Yeah, no, it's fair. He
Unless that's what it actually is. Then I love it even more than the other one.
He says ASU to laugh at cats in football soon, so enjoy.
Skull. And Vikings fan?
Yes, Arizona State will certainly laugh at the Arizona Wildcats in football soon.
Sure, absolutely.
Cannot
or when we go on our
that.
Miracle run through the Big 12 tournament.
There you go.
And we upset them. Because we know if there's one weakness for the Arizona Wildcats, it's when they have a number next to their name. Well, look,
it is. And this, yeah. I don't want to get too deep into the rabbit hole here.
Uh-oh.
But we saw the broadcast kind of pull up where these teams could be in the Big 12 tournament.
Oh, yeah.
And Arizona State, there is a path. Because if it started today, Arizona State would play Utah, which we'll see what Arizona State and Utah do on Saturday.
Yeah, that's going to be the litmus test.
Let's say they could beat Utah. Then, if they win that, then they'll have West Virginia, one of the better teams that Arizona State did end up beating in the Big 12 this season. Now we're talking, hey, Arizona State maybe round 3 of the Big 12 tournament. Am I too far down the rabbit hole, or am I
fully
not
healthy
far
ASU
enough?
team? You know, you never really know. You know, and maybe that's something we tackle in the daytime show.
You want to tackle that in the daytime show?
Sure.
Okay, which player do you want to get to next?
Before
we get to Bobby Hurley sound, I know we have some Bobby Hurley sound.
Yeah, we're working on some Bobby Hurley sound right now. Let's do the other guy who played 40 minutes tonight. Let's talk about Joson Sanon.
Let's talk about him.
The curious case of Joson Sanon.
We need a case study of what's gone on with Joson Sanon this season. 7 of 17 from the floor.
Listen,
0 of 6 from 3.
I'm not trying to be negative.
50% from the charity stripe. 5 boards, 4 assists, 3 turnovers, 3 fouls.
He wasn't in the greatest position tonight, but I know how good of a shooter he can be. And so I know that he's probably thinking,
how good of a shooter can he be?
Tell me. Instead of 0 of 6 from 3, I think he could have been a 3 of 6 or 4 of 6 from 3 kind of guy.
I think he's the type of dude.
I think he's the type of dude who can shoot 100% from the line in a game and average high 80s.
Yeah, imagine if he would have hit 3 threes and hit all his free throws tonight.
Different game. And that's the thing is I know that's in him. And so I really wish that we have seen that at all recently. But we haven't. And I feel bad because I want him to feel that groove that he was in earlier in the season. But you do need more out of him. I mean, 50% from the line for who Bobby Hurley has deemed the best shooter that he's ever coached.
Yeah.
You know, that it's not good enough, but he still played hard. He showed a lot of effort on the defensive end, you know, and again, if this team was fully healthy and everybody was there, you know, I would like to see if maybe he could find a little bit of a better groove, even though it's been like, how long now?
It's since Big 12
since
play
the
started.
Joson Sanon or Joson.
Yeah, they called him Joson on the what's it called, the broadcast tonight, which was very, very weird.
Yeah, Ryan Neal says, does Sanon stick to his guns and go one and done and
Absolutely
not get drafted?
not.
No,
Absolutely not.
I hope he comes back here next season. I see it. I know that I.
What
see
do you
it.
see? Like, how do you see that path?
I've seen him play well this season.
But why would he stay here?
Oh well,
And that's not. I'm not trying to be
no.
like.
I mean,
mean
that's
mean
a
about
different
it. I'm
conversation.
just like saying like,
That's
what
a different conversation.
if you're Joson Sanon, what does it take for you to stay?
Quaintance staying,
What does it take for Jayden Quaintance to stay?
Trevor Best staying and playing, and money.
Trevor Best is the key to Arizona State
Why do you think he's
retaining the
here?
roster next year.
I don't think he's the key, but I think that's part of it. Well, there is something interesting. Do we have the soundbite? We do have it. Okay. Shout out to Justin La Certosa, who is Cronkite, I think graduating next year, who was out there at the game covering for Devil's Digest. And so credit to this video to him. But this is Bobby Hurley providing an update on Jayden Quaintance's injury status.
He's going to be out on Saturday as well. You know, he's got a right knee, and his family is just doing their due diligence with the medical, and you know, we're not sure or going to put a timetable on when he'll return.
You feel a type of way about it?
No, I don't feel type of way. I just the mentioning the family part was a little interesting to me.
Yeah.
Just because it made it seem like the family is like doing something different than what the team would do. I don't know how
That's a crazy Bobby Hurley quote, though.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm distracted.
That's a crazy Bobby Hurley quote.
Also, over at Devil's Digest, they just tweeted out, quote, "I hope I wake up tomorrow. I'm scared to see what tomorrow brings." Hurley
That's
said.
a crazy quote. He continues to drop some crazy.
Wait, what is that in context to? You can't just drop that without context.
I have no idea what.
Yeah, I don't know.
Captain Redbeard's jaw is just fully dropped behind the Mac right now. I wish you guys
I will
could
say,
see it.
in good news, Adam Miller and Bobby Hurley spoke really highly of Trevor Best after the game. Bobby even saying he doesn't usually single people out with praise, but he did for Best, who was playing high school basketball, you know, this past season.
Yeah, literally.
But I think back to the Quaintance thing, because as weird as that quote was from Bobby, the injury thing where it's, you know, he's going to be out.
Shane just texted us, by the way.
I know. Well, I know that's what I was saying. That's why I clicked
okay.
on it, because Shane texted us saying his family's doing the due diligence. We're not going to put a timetable on his return. And this is just maybe me being like way too conspiracy theory, conspiracy theory. But if I was Jayden Quaintance and I didn't want to come back
You blame it
next year, I mean, but and it's like an iffy, right? There's now 3 games left in the season plus the Big 12 tournament, and
I'm not gonna speculate.
You're a 7-footer with a lower body injury. I wouldn't want him to rush if I was the team, right? So it's like, if it's like, hey, you can push it and come back for a final game, would you want to do that? I don't know, because
I mean, this team is at a point now where they literally just need the bodies.
I know.
Like, it has nothing to...
if he's good, like if he's good to go, and it's like you're just good, then I think he plays 100%. I don't think he's not gonna want to play. But I'm saying, if it's like, hey man, like you could play,
there's
but
nothing
you
to
could
play
re-injure
for
it.
at this point.
That's what I'm saying. As a 7-footer,
yeah,
you know, I want him to retain that. So I wonder if that's why, because I'm not saying the family doing their due diligence isn't like they don't trust AC or anything. That's not what I'm saying. But just more like, hey, what are the odds that this turns into something that's bigger?
Yeah, I hear you.
Listen, we're talking about Quaintance as a top 10, top 5 draft pick if all goes right. And
At the right school,
And what derails athletic 7-footers
injuries,
careers.
lower leg injuries.
Lower leg injuries that pile up over the years. And so you don't want to ignore something when you're 17 playing high-level basketball. And so I wonder if that is just kind of like hey, I'm not going to expect Jayden Quaintance to come back this season. And if he does, it's going to be like a welcome surprise.
Yeah.
That's kind of the mindset I'm putting myself in.
I would be pretty surprised if we saw Jayden Quaintance again the rest of the season.
We'll see.
Again, there's nothing to really play for at this point. If
it could be doing their due diligence to see if he can get back. Maybe he just really wants to be out on the court.
Absolutely.
I personally would urge him not to do that. But as much as I would love to see him play and as much as ASU needs him, but I'm interested to see what the future updates are. Leaving on crutches, due diligence, out multiple games.
Already missed a bunch of games.
Just not the best.
No.
There
you go. You used it again.
We're definitely over 12 and a half.
Maybe in a different context.
You're like 20 plus.
Or 20 plus at this point.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't been counting exactly, but I've been listening.
I'm glad that he listens.
Yeah. That he doesn't just sit back there and tune us out.
I wouldn't blame him. Again, it's just we're just fighting, and he's just like.
I feel like we're not fighting today.
I'm just saying not today, but like
you're
in
gonna turn
general.
this into a fight, man.
You see what I mean? You see what I mean? He always does this. But what I'm saying is like the memes where it's like okay, like the two parents are fighting in the background, the kid's like playing PlayStation.
Yeah.
Is he our child? Kyle's just back there somehow as our child, just pushing the buttons on this, just all he hears. Like, wah, 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 wah. But anyways,
so Amir Ali. Okay. 8 points, 3 of 7 from the floor, 2 of 4 from 3-point land. 6 boards, 2 assists, 1 turnover, playing 39 minutes. He got a quick squirt and then was back into the game. Obviously, I mean, Amir Ali's been on a little bit of a heater over the last couple of games. So in all honesty, I think when you go into a night like tonight, you expect maybe Amir Ali to be one of the guys in the high teens scoring, and tonight just to have the 8 points. It wasn't his best night offensively, but I think he was put in a little bit more of a pressure situation considering everything that this team is going through. He had a little bit more leeway and the ability to just kind of create and flow his own offense in previous games. This game, I feel like he had to be a little bit more tight with certain things, and I think that hurt him tonight. So again, a roster that only has 5-6 healthy scholarship guys, you can't critique him too much, but not Amir Ali's best night tonight.
No, but I've seen slight improvement from Amir Ali throughout the season, but expected more coming into this. But again, such a tough situation for so many of these players this season. By the way,
literally an impossible situation.
Sorry, I'm gonna fact check myself. Sorry for calling Jayden Quaintance 7 foot. Like I know he's not 7 foot, but if he plays like
he's
6'9".
He's got a wingspan.
He's 6'9", but he's probably grown a couple inches since they measured him. Plus the hair adds a little bit too. But he'll be a set. I bet you he'll be 6'11" at the shortest by the time that he enters the draft.
That's wild. Jason in the chat saying just joined a minute ago. You might have touched on this. Arizona State played their hearts out. They had a lot of fight in them. The freshmen played well. They were just shorthanded with so many players out. Yeah, I mean, we talked about it. This team, I think there have been certain games this season where you could go back, maybe question effort and hustle and intensity, especially early on in the season. But, this team has battled through a lot all year long, and changes may be on the horizon. But this team gave it literally everything they had tonight. Yeah. They just didn't have the manpower, quite literally, to go out there and win this game against a top 25 team. We've talked about Joson, Amir, Bashir, Adam Miller, Trevor Best. We just got 2 more.
Arguably, we're burying the leads.
Bobby Hurley Jr. Let's talk about Bob. No points, no shots, 1 foul.
Whole lot of hustle from our boy Bob. No, honestly, I like when our guy Bob plays.
Yeah,
I like when our guy Bob
do
plays.
too.
I
I wanted Bob to have the night tonight.
dude, I was thinking
so
a 20
bad.
spot.
Dude, I was amped
Side
about
of 5
Bob.
assists.
I thought Bob
couple
was going to get
steals.
more run tonight.
I honestly, I thought so too. I genuinely did. And I don't hate it when he's out there. I don't. I actually want him to shoot some shots.
I wanted him to shoot.
I want him to
Best
get into
free
his
throw
bag.
percentage on the team.
I want him to get into the Bob bag.
How deep is the Bob bag?
I think Bob's bag is pretty damn deep.
What's it?
I went
Yeah.
to class with him.
Yeah. You went to class with Bobby Hurley Jr.?
Yeah, he was in one of my classes.
I mean, greatness recognized greatness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's incredible.
I went to class with Anthony Totri.
Wow.
Wow.
You poor man.
Oh no,
Hit that like button. Hit
we were
the
the
subscribe
bestest of
button.
friends.
Drop a 5-star review wherever you
We didn't talk
get
about
your
Sean Phillips. Or we didn't
podcasts.
talk about Sean Phillips.
I was just telling people to hit the
You were
like
about to
button.
hit a break.
I was not about to hit a break.
100%.
Let's
You
talk
don't do
about
that
Sean
unless you're
Phillips.
going in the
Tell
break.
me how you feel about Sean Phillips.
I think he's played really well, actually. Tonight, field goal percentage 1 of 5 is not great.
No, there's a pull-up jumper somewhere in there.
But 9 rebounds, 2 blocks tonight in 36 minutes. Like 36 minutes, he just kind of walked into 5 shots. I would have liked for him to be more aggressive, to get into the paint and to, dunk on somebody.
Yeah.
But I think you got a good night out of him, as good as you can ask for. A couple offensive rebounds, adding an assist. Didn't foul a ton despite playing 36 minutes. My expectations for him are not super high. So whenever he just plays solid,
At this
doesn't
point,
make
you
a lot
don't have high expectations for Sean Phillips?
I need to see him
what
hit.
are your
I
expectations?
need to see him hit one of these.
No.
I need to see him hit one of those.
You're never gonna see him hit one of those. He's not Dr. J, dude. He's not gonna do any of that.
I need a Sean Phillips pull up Hezzy Jimbo. I need it.
He's not that guy.
I need it.
He's not that guy. He's
I
not
need
gonna
it.
do that.
Like I need to do aftertaste.
How you need to do after
Right, but we need to do it.
after this break.
That's how I get you. That's how I get you.
Oh
I
yeah.
say, oh, you're gonna do it, and then I do it anyway. But the best place to go for us to get over this, to break bread, Totri,
Break the crust.
it's Spinatos.
It's Spinatos.
It's 100% Spinatos, and it's also the place to be for Suns fans. Hello, fellow sickos. Spinatos is hosting official watch parties throughout the season, where you can watch the game or ignore it with the Phoenix Suns dancers and gorillas. Stop by for your chance to win free Suns tickets, gift certificates, and more exciting prizes. And if you have a decent jump shot, which you guys might learn about us in some time, another tease, you've got to enter Spinatos pizza competition. We all have played
Filthy
horse on the
jumper.
basketball court. Well, at Spinatos, they don't spell horse. They spell pizza. Duh. Pizza, and you can win free pizza for a year and tickets to Suns games on April 9th. What's better than free tickets and free pizza, Totri?
Nothing.
Exactly. Finally, you got it right. Mark your calendar, Suns fans. Get all the info on the watch parties and pizza basketball contests at SpinatosPizzeria.com. Spinatos, the official pizza of the Phoenix Suns.
Where are we right now, besides on a floating rock?
In the
space?
greatest studio on earth, sponsored by the greatest convenience store gas station on earth.
Isn't it crazy that we're here?
We're lucky.
In Studio K.
This is my Mecca.
This is where,
And I
this is your
travel
home.
every day.
This is your kingdom.
It is. And you know what? I stop in my own kingdom on my way home.
I mean, why wouldn't you? There's plenty of Circle K's from here to your house, and probably from here to wherever you guys are at. Guys, there is Circle K's, it feels like, on every single corner, which means you guys can save money all up and down the valley when you guys become an Inner Circle member. It's Circle K's free membership program. It's super easy to download and get enrolled. And as soon as you are enrolled, next time you pull up to the pump, type in your phone number to start scoring on those Circle K deals, like saving 25 cents per gallon on your first 5 fill-ups. Join Inner Circle for free by downloading that Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for details. Make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. Rubus and Captain Redbeard are abandoning me. They are leaving.
Jumping ship.
Both. I mean, tomorrow, Captain Redbeard, I hear he is out with illness. And then, of course, Erik is serving the second game of his 2-game suspension. Any comments to the fans?
I stand on my business.
Yeah, that's all you got to say?
No, if I don't show up tomorrow, something terribly wrong has happened to me.
What
I'm
exactly?
I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Captain Redbeard, what about you?
A little breather.
I will see you guys on the flip side.
What the heck does
That's
that mean?
vague.
What the heck does that mean?
Dude, imagine just
Also, I
neither one.
never get sick. So
Imagine neither one of us comes back.
Mm.
yeah, this is the end.
I mean,
what if
I
this is our last
survived.
show together?
I'm the last standing man of
Would
this
you be
show.
sad
Would I be sad?
if this was our last show together?
Yes.
That's what I like to hear.
Yeah. I'd be terribly distraught over it, to be honest.
Not because of me, just because it'd be more work for you.
No. I would be upset that we went out having to talk about Arizona State
Not in the
basketball.
best way.
Yeah, that would be 100% why I'd be feeling not too great. But you said you wanted to get to aftertaste, so
do.
let's go ahead. Let's get to aftertaste. Erik, what was rotated into your face belly button?
What? Say that again.
I just read the end of your comment.
I commented on your precious rundown because I saw this question and I thought to myself, what?
Yeah. What was rotated into your face belly button? I've said gullet and esophagus like way too many times.
Face belly button, dude.
Yeah, I've run
What was rotated into my face belly button? I don't know. Actually, I haven't thought about it yet. Captain Red Beard first.
Well, I had an answer, and then you asked it in that way, and it threw me off.
I was gonna use that excuse too, but I felt like it
want
wasn't
me to ask
believable.
you like a different way?
Well, mine was like hard candy.
Mm.
Rotated into my belly button.
Care to elaborate on that one at all?
Nope.
No, just hard candy was rotated into Kyle's belly button. What about you?
This was like the plain shredded chicken from the grocery store that comes in like the plastic tin. This was just that for dinner.
Okay.
You know, you're really shorthanded. You don't have time to make a meal. You don't have the ingredients. And it wasn't great, but it was some protein, a little bit of flavor. It got the job done. You weren't disappointed, and you're actually proud that you didn't go out and spend $15 on fast food that used to be $6.
Okay. That's a good one. That was rotated into your face belly button.
That whole thing was rotated into my face belly button.
Got a big belly button.
Tell me about it.
I think I'm going to go with the Play-Doh on this one.
Play-Doh? Oh, I'm excited for this.
I feel like this game going into it, like it had every opportunity for Bobby to be creative and unique and fun. There was a lot of, you could work with.
There's
with
nothing
what you
to
had
lose.
Here. There's nothing to lose, right? You can
Just
make
a kid playing with Play-Doh.
You can make this into anything that you wanted it to be, and I think Bobby did that. But it did taste like Play-Doh. It tasted like something that you should never watch, that you shouldn't have to go through if you're the players, if you're the team, if you're the coaches. But at the end of the day, it's Play-Doh. You ate it. Why'd you eat it? You don't know. Like you don't have a good answer as to why.
Play-Doh.
No, you're right. It was rotated. Play-Doh was rotated into my belly button.
In my defense, the Play-Doh looked like a hamburger.
Yeah, you made it into a hamburger.
You know.
Bobby cooked with Play-Doh.
What is going on?
New headline.
What is going on, dude? Change the thumbnail to Play-Doh.
Oh God! You want to get to the Bobby board?
Yeah.
You talk about the Bobby board.
Do
You
I
tell
have
me, yeah,
to?
because you're abandoning me tomorrow
Fine.
for no reason.
Oh, well, there's definitely a reason. I just don't like you. Listen, it's not looking too hot. Okay. You lost today your, I believe, 8th consecutive loss at home. You did beat Kansas State.
You
but
did.
You lost to Houston, TCU, Tech, Oklahoma State, Kansas State, and Arizona before that.
Not a lot of Bobby heads on that Bobby board.
No, not a lot. Only one on this row, and you only have 3 chances left to add a Bobby head on the Bobby board, with your best chance coming in the next game against Utah on Saturday.
Yeah,
I believe. I'll be back for that one, so you don't have to whine
from your
about it.
1 game suspension.
Yes. If it was a 1 game suspension,
2
I
game
wouldn't,
suspension.
do the Utah game. I
Yeah.
wouldn't have done tonight's game. I mean, I show up for my teammates. That's what I'm here.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is.
And then you got a big game against U of A. Anything can happen in a rivalry game. Kyle thinks they're going to win 2 out of the next 3.
Still feel that way, Captain Redbeard?
Ride or die.
Wow.
We're gonna do it.
Yeah, I mean, sure, maybe they will.
Arizona and Tech going down.
Yeah, we'll see. I think that would be wild for Arizona
Rank
State
'em.
out of
Rank
their
the
last
Devils.
3 games to beat a ranked Arizona team on the road, beat a Texas Tech team that's in the top 10, and then lose to a team that just fired their head coach in Utah.
Should we start a petition to get Arizona State ranked in the AP top 25? And cite extraordinarily hard circumstances?
Yes, I think we should do that. How does that letter,
hashtag rank the Devils?
How does that letter start?
To whom it may concern. Which is everybody. Because this is an issue
everybody.
of national importance.
Yeah, this is everybody's problem.
I'm calling to your attention the gross injustice done to our sweet Arizona State
Who
Sun
committed
Devils.
these injustices?
The world.
The world
AP voters.
committed these
The
injustices
AP
against
voters,
Arizona State.
not recognizing the adversity that this team has overcome to compete.
So you're saying because they have faced adversity,
hashtag rank the Devils.
because they have faced adversity,
Yes.
they need to be ranked
Yeah.
because they faced
Yes.
adversity.
We've all said this.
God, I think
Put them above Kansas.
Yeah, I mean Kansas stinks. Kansas, I don't
Kansas
think it's
is
ranked
pretty
either.
stinky.
I don't think Kansas is ranked.
That's
at
what I'm
this
saying.
point.
Put them above Kansas.
Hey Kyle, you remember when we made that video about our top 3 teams
Yeah.
in Big 12?
Kansas, stringing together wins against the elite, BYU and Oklahoma State. Or sorry, Colorado, Oklahoma State. They lost to BYU. They got whooped by BYU.
Whooped by
Lost
BYU
to
was
Colorado
unranked at
before
that time.
firing their head coach. Or Utah, geez. And then beat Colorado.
Not good.
I'm on fumes right now.
So where do you think Arizona State picks up their only win of the season?
I think we're going undefeated.
You think they win
3 in a row.
What are you willing to put on it?
Nothing. No. if Jayden Quaintance doesn't play, if Alston Mason doesn't play, we're looking at
A GG's.
yeah.
Good game. It's over.
Yeah. I think we're looking
Do
at
you feel that
0-3.
same way though? Because I know you think they'll win 2 of 3. Do you think they do that without Quaintance?
I mean, we put up a good fight tonight against BYU.
Yeah, but I like your confidence.
We can beat Utah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
beating Arizona or Tech is
We
a
could
little-
beat Utah. The 3 of us
tall
could go out
task.
there. We could beat Utah.
Yeah. Let's band together. Let's band together and let's beat the Utes.
Let's go to Utah.
Yeah.
Let's beat them.
No.
No?
We don't know.
You don't want to go to Utah?
No.
You want to beat them though?
Yeah.
Well, Saturday post-game show, you and me.
Promise. 24 hours, dude.
Kyle's ready to get out of here.
24 hours.
Oh
man.
my goodness, I absolutely.
I did wait.
love it.
Technically,
It
this is
hasn't
the
even been an hour yet.
no,
it
last.
has not been.
I mean, we're
we would
almost
have
there.
23 more hours to go.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. This is the last. This is the last show.
Oh, boy.
This is the last show. The last show that
I'm
Kyle
gonna need
has to do
therapist.
before going on a little vacation. I
I'm
think.
gonna need to not see you guys for a long time after that day.
Well, Kyle's not going to see us for a long time, and I think
Oh.
since we are his last show before going on vacation, I think we should hold him hostage. We just don't end the show.
I think we should.
Stay here for the next 23 hours.
I don't want to do
Practice
that. I don't
run.
want to do that. No.
Impromptu practice.
I'm gonna
run.
say no.
no. How about closing time?
How about closing time presented by the Carol Royce team? Your home sold guaranteed realty, where Carol's going to guarantee to sell your home for 100% of market value, or she's going to pay you the difference. Learn more at carolroyceteam.com. Look, lately this season, instead of 3 takeaways, we have just had 1 because, well, it feels easier that way to take in the Arizona State basketball season. And in all honesty, I feel like we've got the best takeaway we've had in a long time. They've tried their best. Literally, bang. They gave it their Trevor best tonight. 18 points worth. Hopefully you see Trevor best in the future at Arizona State this season and beyond. This team could absolutely use the manpower. Who knows? Maybe Bobby will take a page out of Kenny's book and hold some open tryouts for the
I'm there.
remainder of the season.
Hit my line,
Guys,
Bobby.
that is going to do it for today's episode of the PHNX Sun Devils Show. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts. I will be back with you on Thursday. These 2 losers, well, they're taking the day off.
We'll all be there for you tomorrow night. PHNX Suns.
There you go. If you enjoyed the content, give us a follow at PHNX_Sun Devils. You can follow me at Anthony_Totri. You can follow the guy who still has to serve a game of his suspension. That is Erik Ruby at Erik Ruby on social. You can follow Captain Redbeard, the Red Panda himself, at K Coop Sports on social, guys. But in the meantime, go Devils. Peace.
like the mayor.